We've hit on every hole that we've drilled. Last year we hit the holes, returned up to 40% of them were at visible gold, up to 11 millimeters in size. We don't know how big it is.
What really impressed me is also the shareholder list, grass capped at what, 20%?
Yeah, they're about 19%.
19, Eric Sprott, Rob McEwen. Last, Roger, one thing about you is that you are very marketing guy. We see you in shows, we see you on social media.
I've traveled 6 months of the year.
And I know I know. Good day, everyone, and welcome to this interview. My name is Mario Jolie. I am the president of MI3. Directly from the Event of the North up in Quebec City, we have the pleasure today to welcome Mr. Roger Erasmus, Vice President of Goliath Resource.
Yes, Mario, good to see you again. Happy to be back.
Thank you, Roger.
Thanks for having us. It's fantastic.
Thank you very much for being with us.
Good show, good buzz in the air, and a lot of excitement, which is fantastic to see.
Well, you seemed also with Goliath to coming to the market with a lot of excitement. But why don't we start by, can you give us briefly your background, Roger?
Sure. Essentially, entrepreneur by heart, a serial entrepreneur, I guess I would say, which eventually led me to investment banking. So I was in Toronto for close to 30 years doing mergers and acquisitions with private family-owned enterprises, selling to private equity, strategic groups, primarily selling to U.S. Type of companies. That led me to getting my license to go sell stock, to raise money for private and public companies. And so I did that. I had my own company, Aberdeen Global Capital Markets, for 20 years-ish, thereabouts. And a lot of those companies were involved, obviously in the mining space. Being in Canada, it was kind of by default. You're going to do more mining deals than anything else. Got an MBA from Western University as a mature student. And
So why don't we get in the heart of the subject?
Sure.
Why don't you talk to us about your BC project?
Essentially, it's in the Golden Triangle of northwestern British Columbia. It is a brand new discovery. No one had drilled it until we came along. And the reason I got the question, like, why had someone drilled it before? The fact it was actually buried under the glaciers and permanent snowpack, which are no longer there. And we got lucky. We found a kilometer of mineralization, pinching and swelling up to 40 meters wide at surface. Going up one side of the mountain, peaking, going down the north side of the mountain for another 1.1 kilometer, with 700 meters of vertical relief. So even before we drilled this in 2021, the maiden drill program, we had a 3D model of the structure. So we hit on every hole that year. Even we stepped out 1.1 kilometer down dip. So what does that tell us? Excellent continuity, structurally controlled, and very predictable, and a robust system, whatever brought up this mineralization to surface.
It's primarily gold.
Primarily gold. All our gold equivalent numbers, you're going to be looking at around between 80 to 85% gold, maybe 85 to 90% gold, 5% silver, some copper, some lead, some zinc, right? Fast forward to 2023, we've completed just over now 66,000 meters of drilling. All the holes that we've drilled within the shear bed area, the 1.8 square kilometer of mineralized zone that we've identified, we've hit on every hole that we've drilled. We've last year we hit the holes, returned up to 40% of them were at visible gold, up to 11 millimeters in size. And we don't know how big it is. It just gets bigger and bigger every year. Late in the season, last year we drilled actually into the volcanics, and we found a brand new shear zone or vein system that we didn't know existed. So just to kind of put that into simplify, we've only really drilled from the tip of the mountain to the base of the mountain. We haven't actually drilled down below the valley floor. Right. This year, the plan is we're drilling in the valley floor, essentially with the idea of tracking down the feeder source or potential feeder source of all this mineralization at the surface.
Are you aware of any other project like this, of this magnitude? Or is it really unique? You know, like, can you find something that can be comparable?
I put a bet out there to friends and geos to show me something that has advanced so quickly, that has the continuity that the shearbed discovery has, and I haven't seen anything. It's a once in a lifetime discovery. And again, we got lucky, and we're at the right place, right time, and we got a great, a team of geologists that are, kind of
Roger, mines are never where you would like to find them, but they are where they are.
Correct.
So human have to, be confront with where they are.
Exactly. Exactly. And so, yes, so brand new world-class discovery, which I do believe once we're finished drilling over the next couple seasons or what have you, will be a tier 1 asset. I do believe it'll be a mine one day. Reason being is the fact, again, we have this continuity thing is so important. But I guess even more important than that is, can you actually get the gold from the host rock? So we've actually have done some early met work. We're getting a 92.2% of the gold recovery at a 327 micron crush.
Okay.
What does that tell us? It's a very coarse grade material. Again, we're getting nuggets up to 11 millimeters in size. With that 92.2% recovery, roughly 50% of that is free gold from gravity alone. So an operator could potentially pour doré bars on site. No deleterious material, no cyanide required, underground mining. Not to mention we have the town of Kitsault that we're based out of, houses up to 300 people. It was built for the Moly mine back in the 80s. We have industrial kitchen. We have apartment buildings. We have all sorts of facilities to basically house a future mine that we don't have to build.
Question for you. In terms of resource calculation,
Yes.
Are you planning one for the public eventually, or because after 66,000 meter, you could?
We are,
or you want to
we
wait?
don't know how big it is yet, Mario.
Okay.
We find new stuff every year. We're going to continue drilling
Cool.
until we stop finding new things. Ultimately, at the end of the day, we all have to put a made resource out, or perhaps not. We saw Great Bear Resources didn't have a resource. Get taken out for what, 1.8 billion?
Yeah, but they would probably add a lot house, like resource calculation plus the future buy that was coming in, probably putting out, his own numbers.
So I think in any scenario, any senior miner, mid-tier miner, they're going to have access to that data. They're going to do their own calculation anyways, right? So no matter what we do, it's dependent on what they see is the potential, right? So will it be the same scenario? I don't know. We'll get there. But right now, the focus is keep on drilling, find new stuff, keep on making it bigger and bigger every year. So, from a shareholder coming in, knowing that the capital that is actually put into the private placements going into the ground is actually providing, exponential value going into the market cap of the company.
What really impressed me is also the shareholder list.
Yeah.
You have Crescat at what, 20%?
Yeah, they're about 19%.
19. Eric Sprott.
Eric Sprott is about 3.5%.
Rob McEwen.
He's about 5% of the company.
Well, to be able to attract these people,
very serious corners.
Seasoned
miners. Yeah. World-renowned folks. In addition, have another strategic institutional group that does not wish to be named. They own just some 10% of the company. Management and the team, they own about 19% of the company on a partially diluted basis. So, from a structured point of view, we've got some great names in there, great supporters. Right now we're trading at, we announced our mobilization. Yesterday, we traded up to $1.04, but we have $12 million of warrants that are in the money right now at an average strike of 60 cents. We're very cost effective because it is helicopter assisted. Some would think it's 500, 600, 700 a meter all in. It's actually last year we drilled over 35,000 meters. It was $380 per meter Canadian all in. We do a lot of cost savings. We have the same geologists coming every year. We have the same helicopter pilots, same helicopter companies, same drillers, same drill companies. One of the savings is the way we build our pads. We have our own drill pad builders. Yeah. We can reclaim 90% of that wood after it's been constructed. We can take down and use the next year. This year, we're not buying a stitch of wood or any of the wooden drill sites that we're building this year.
Roger, following the good result that you have recently, have you seen any majors without naming it coming to see you guys sign some CA? People wanting to know much more about what you
we presented to all of them. That's my job to be making sure they know what's going on. So They are watching us.
Yeah.
I can say we have a number of CAs signed.
Yeah.
Is something going to happen tomorrow, next? I have no idea. They have their own agenda.
Yeah.
However, all senior miners, as we know, all their resources are being depleted every day. There hasn't been any new, let's call it material discoveries in quite a very long time.
Yeah.
So they need to replenish what they have, or what they're about to sell. Like a Newmont selling $2 billion of their non-tier one assets. They're going to have $2 billion of assets.
Okay.
Or pardon me, $2 billion of cash, looking for new opportunities. And they don't have any exploration teams. They got rid of them many, many years ago. And they're going to be looking to deploy that capital somewhere. An example, they bought, obviously with the Newcrest. If you watch the CEO, the forum there from the BMO conference, I think it was Barrick and Newmont both said that Canada, they're coming home to roost. And the Golden Triangle is a key area of focus for them to grow.
Who's the most active senior?
I would say, Newmont, because they bought GT Gold for $500 million, I guess was that 6 years ago-ish or so. And then obviously just now Newcrest, which have the Brucejack mine just to the northwest that actually operates under the glacier. And then just as far as new producers, people are always asking, going, how about getting permits and so on? Ascot just per the first Doré bar, I think, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
So mining-friendly jurisdiction, First Nations, pro-mining, world-class geological setting. We sit on tidewater, so basically you can take your material on either side of the property down to Prince Rupert by barge, 190 kilometers to the south, rail right across Canada, or deep sea port.
Plus, Roger, one thing about you is that you are a very marketing guy. Like we see you in shows, we see you on social media.
Yeah.
What's your next schedule? My last question. What would be your next marketing schedule for the last of the year?
Just from marketing, market awareness. There's always marketing going on because I'm doing Zoom calls and so on. But next show would be in September. I will be doing Beaver Creek.
Yep.
And then there's the SMI in Zurich later in the fall. Then there's the one-to-one meetings. That's that'll be in London.
Yeah.
And Dubai this year. That's in November. And then December, there's something else on, but it's lots. The schedule. I travel 6 months of the year.
I know. Yeah, I know. Roger, thank you very much. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Just a reminder to you, Goliath Resource, symbol GOT on the TSX Venture. I want to thank Roger Rasmus for being with us today. Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much.
Merci.
Thank you.